Welcome back to another edition of ACF411, the official podcast of the Allen County Fair. It's powered by Nutrien and hosted on the iHeart platform, and new this year also will be on YouTube, so check that out. I'm Russ Decker, your host, and joining me is the Allen County Fair manager, Troy Elwer. Troy, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on today, Russ.
And we're going to have you on throughout the fair, but this is kind of the kickoff, actually, of our second season of podcasts.
It's really exciting.
It is. And I know there's a lot of exciting things going on at the fairgrounds as well. So before we actually get into the physical fair that's coming up, let's talk about improvements people might notice at the fairgrounds. And you can't miss it when you're coming in off of Harding Highway there. Maurice is like, 100 feet tall, something like, I don't know, he's huge. He's huge. It's a big cow right there.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's Maurice was a really neat project. That was a partnership between us, Visit Greater Lima, and the Bear Hollow Wood Carvers. We were really trying to brainstorm a project that was going to be a neat celebratory piece for this year's 175th anniversary, but we also wanted to align with Visit Greater Lima's morals and values and goals, which are trying to drive tourism to our community. And so far, since he's been built, he gets visitors on a daily basis, people pulling off the roads, getting out of their vehicles, kids going up to him, interacting with them, getting pictures with them. It's great exposure for us, but it's also great exposure for Lima, and we're hoping that he kind of develops himself into a landmark for this community, a travel destination point, and that in turn is hopefully going to help boost the local economy and drive more dollars into Lima, Allen County.
And I noticed he just got a cowbell.
He did, yes. The union across the road, actually, and Decker helped us out with that, making that connection, and they just installed that yesterday. That cowbell is made out of stainless steel. It is 3 foot tall and almost 2 feet wide, and it is fully functional.
It's a big bell.
It is. It's very cool. And they actually rubber coated the inside of the bell, the ball part, with a truck bed liner to try to help, not beat up the inside of the bell. But they said once that rubber wears off, it's really going to sound like a cowbell.
Yeah. And it's much bigger than the one we have in our podcast studio at the fair. Because, we're in the dairy. For folks that don't know, we have a studio at the fair in the dairy, in the building where the old milking parlor used to be. And so we have things in the studio like cowbell, but it's not that big.
Absolutely, yeah, not quite that big.
3 feet's pretty big. So, one of the other improvements I know is going on. It's not too sexy, but it's a major improvement. Tell me about the water line. Got a new water line.
Yes, so over the last several years, the fairgrounds has been battling and chasing water leaks across our property that's on that city main that we have. It's 8-inch. The Allen County Commissioners graciously donated or gave the fairgrounds and the Agricultural Society $300,000 to put towards the installation of a new main water line on the property. So this is going to do a couple things. It's going to help increase our water pressure for our vendors in our buildings, which is a great thing. But it's also going to actually help save the fairgrounds money over time. Because with those leaks being fixed and repaired, we're not going to be charged and seeing that on our water bill each month.
Excellent. And I'm glad to see the cooperation there between the Ag Society and the commissioners, and that's a good thing. One thing people will notice, you might not notice the water pressure change, but you will notice it's incredible. I've seen it. So the Union Bank Show Arena looks almost like a brand new arena.
Yes, that particular project has really been on my docket since I started as fair manager, and I'm going to be a little bit biased for a second, but I grew up showing in that facility, showing my swine project starting at the age of 3, and that facility 22 years ago to now and even before that really hasn't changed at all, with the exception of maybe some paint. But we did a full renovation of that entire facility. We installed new telescopic gymnasium-style bleacher seating that all has handicap accessible rows in the first row of every section. We repainted the facility. We gave it a new ceiling. We gave it 40 new high bay LED lights. It has a new sound system. It's going to have new fencing, and it has a brand new renovated restroom facility that doubled in size, and you're going to be able to access it from the inside of the facility.
Yeah, because it used to be you had to go outside it and try to kind of squeeze yourself around the cattleman's booth to find the restroom.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And speaking of the cattleman, the reason that restroom renovation project was possible is because they made an $85,000 donation towards the renovation of that restroom project. So we want to thank them for their support on that particular aspect.
All right, so when you go out there and you're enjoying the new Union Bank Show Arena, make sure you go over and get a ribeye sandwich at the Cowdowns at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
I'll do that. I promise I will do that.
Me too.
I love those ribeye sandwiches. Any other projects like that before we get into the fair that you want to make sure you highlight?
There's some other minor improvements that you may or may not notice across the property. We are up at our north buildings. We're getting some handicap door openers installed on those new glass doors that we put on those facilities last year. So that'll be new for this year. And then across the property, we've had lots of other entry and exit doors that have just taken a beating over the years. We're getting lots of those replaced too. So overall, aesthetics, accessibility in general should really be improved for this year's fair.
You know, one of the neat things too at your fair that a lot of other fairs don't have is all 4 of those buildings now up in the north end are air conditioned.
That's
So
correct.
if we get some of those 90-degree days, which are possible during the fair, at least you know you have a safe, cool haven that you can go to and cool down a little bit, and then go back out and play some more, right?
Absolutely, and I encourage people, if you've never gone through those buildings before, please take the opportunity to do so during those 9 days, because there's a lot of really neat projects in those buildings, specifically in the Fine Arts building, as well as the Youth Activities building, and then obviously our Merchants building is full of some incredible businesses in the community selling product, and then the Youth Exhibits building has some awesome 4-H and FFA projects.
That's right, and they'll be having an auction this throughout the week of the fair in the project room there. So
Yep.
yeah, we want to plug that as well for I think it's Allen County 4-H that does that one, right?
That's correct, yep.
So let's talk about the fair. I know it's coming up. You're going to have one again.
I know, surprisingly enough, like I told you before we started today, I finally start my full-time job August 1st.
Yeah, well, that's good. Glad to see you're working. And you guys have had some practice because this is your 175th Allen County Fair, so it's not your first rodeo.
It's not my first rodeo. It's my personal 4th rodeo as fair manager, but we've done this a time or two.
Wow. 170, it doesn't seem like it's your 4th either, but 175. So I know there's some really cool things. You're going to have some, under the grandstand, I believe there are going to be some historic displays. And let's talk a little bit about the 175th.
Yeah, so we've got lots of neat things planned for this year to kind of make this year feel a little bit more special than just any other year. I mean, every fair is special, but this one's just got that little touch of extra. So under the grandstands, we're going to have what we're calling the museum, sticking on the theme of Maurice. And yes, we'll have lots of historical artifacts in display cases and on the wall. That will be centralized in the grandstands between the men's restroom and the 4-H office, that open area there. And then we're also going to actually have a flat screen TV in the museum that's going to be airing our documentary on a loop for people to watch. And then in one of the corners, we're going to have select dates and times where Maurice will be doing pop-up meet and greet opportunities with kids.
Wow, so you can actually meet Maurice.
Yes. It's funny, we have people, that's probably the question that we get asked the most throughout the 9 days. Where's Maurice? I want to get a picture with him. And we've never really had a structured schedule of, hey, here's where he's going to be and when. So we're kind of trying to meet that demand a little bit and give the kids the opportunity to make sure they can interact with him.
That's very cool. And you talked about the documentary, and I know you're going to debut it at your kickoff dinner coming up here shortly. But let's give a plug to the hometown stations. They're actually going to air it on the NBC station, right?
They are, yes. We are very grateful for that partnership we have with hometown stations. It is going to air live on NBC Lima Monday, August 11th at 7 p.m. So make sure you tune in that night to watch it live, but then set your DVR too. That way, if you want to go back and watch it again, you can do so. And then we are going to be actually selling a limited number of hard disk copies of this documentary. We're going to have 175, no pun intended, on sale. And you better get those while they last, because I think they're going to go pretty quick.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. So let's get right into it. Your headliner this year, a whole new genre of music, a whole new audience of fans coming to the fairgrounds to see Lauren Daigle and Franny Cash. Let's talk about that.
Yes, and I tell you what, when we've been asked about this before, I've been asked about this before, they're like, man, this is very non-traditional for what you guys are used to bringing for your big concert to the grandstands. And I absolutely agreed. I mean, we're predominantly accustomed to bringing either country or rock into our grandstands. But one big thing that we focus on is we really do listen to the public when we get feedback on what the public wants to see. And with this year being a celebratory year, there has been a strong demand for a large Christian contemporary act. So I want to say at first we felt like we were taking a gamble a little bit just because it was so new. But ticket sales are going really well for this event. We're at a little over 6,100 sold. If you wanted tickets in the grandstands, bleachers, or track section, they're almost gone. So hop on and get your tickets before they are gone.
So people who are trying to visualize 6,100 people, that's not quite, but almost double what we had in the grandstand last year.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's a lot of people, and it'll get better. We'll have usually have a pretty active walk up the week of the fair. So
especially if the weather's nice.
yeah. And let's talk. A lot of people know Lauren Daigle, and my gosh, she sang at the Super Bowl this year. She opened up the 4th of July celebration in Washington on the Mall. So a lot of people have had a chance to maybe see and hear her who weren't familiar with her. But who's Franny Cash?
Yeah, Franny Cash. A lot of people don't know about our opener, but if you are a follower of Christian contemporary music, you may know her as the lead vocalist for the very popular group We the Kingdom. So she just recently, I don't think that they've actually broken apart, but she's just kind of trying to do her own solo thing a little bit, and she's on some of Lauren's tickets at some other venues. But yeah, I've seen some video of her perform, and she has one heck of a voice. So I think all around, you're getting a lot of value for that ticket that you're purchasing for this event.
Cool. And of course, that's the first Saturday night of the fair. The fair opens on Friday, and we have more of a traditional Friday night show in the grandstand this year.
Yes, we do. Opening night, Friday night, is the CUPE Showcase of Bands, and that one is one of my personal favorites because I feel like not only the partnership with CUPE, and we're so grateful for the support that they give us, but really our mission at the fairgrounds is promoting youth through agriculture. I realize that bands are not agriculture, but we get to promote youth by allowing them to showcase their talents at this high school band show, and it's always one of the heaviest attended events in the grandstands. You see mom, dad, grandma and grandpa, siblings. It's just a really neat event all the way around.
And I think it's kind of neat because for years that was always opening night at the Allen County Fair was the CUPE band show, and then when they started moving up the date for football season,
we had to adjust.
Yeah, the high school bands are busy on Friday nights, so you end up going to Sunday typically now. But so it's kind of neat to bring that back too. You're having a big anniversary, and it's kind of neat that we're doing things the way we used to back in the day. So that'll be fun. So we've covered Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now this doesn't happen very often at all at the Allen County Fair, but free grandstand. I mean, on Sunday, there's going to be car shows, oldie performers. Let's talk about Sunday.
Yeah, so we're super excited about this one, and this one's presented by Nutrien. So thanks, Nutrien, for your support on this event day in general, and then 4D Imaging on the car show side of things. But yes, completely free. We're looking at this event as a gift to the community that has supported us over so many years. I mean, we have people ask us each year, why doesn't my gate admission include all of your grandstand events? Well, our grandstand events are some of the top tier events in the state, and those cost us money to do. So that's why we've historically charged. But we have one heck of a lineup for Sunday. Kicking things off, we start the car show at 1 p.m. And during the car show, you're actually going to be able to listen to Direct Energy out of Columbus, which some Lima locals may recognize that name because they played the Pangle Pavilion, I believe, last year.
They did?
Yes, so they'll play 1 to 4 during the car show. The OSU alumni band will hop on the Nutrien Plaza stage right after that to play basically 45 minutes. Then at 5, you hop back in the grandstands, and the Circle out of Chicago will perform for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then our headliner for that night is Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees.
Yeah, so we'll back up a little bit. When we're talking about Direct Energy, they're known as the premier classic rock band in Ohio. Very high in demand band across the state, but they're based out of Columbus. I think people will really enjoy them. They're a large band. It's 12 people in their band, and an entire horn section. And so they play a lot of music that has horns. So a lot of Chicago and Earth, Wind and Fire and Blood, Sweat and Tears and things like that. So very, very, very good band. And then, of course, the alumni band, you can't say enough about OH.
Yeah, I.O.
There we go. We got that one covered. And then the Circle, people will remember a couple of their hits, Red Rubber Ball and Turn Down Day, a couple of their big hits. Interestingly enough, when you look at the Circle, it's spelled weird. It's Cyrkle. So this, being an oldies guy, this is just, it's cool. But John Lennon is the one from the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
John Lennon is the one who came up with their name and how to spell it.
No kidding.
They did.
I learned something new today.
So that's how they got it. And then the big headliner, of course, Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, from Last Train Clarksville, Pleasant Valley Sunday, I'm a Believer fame. I mean, he's just an incredible artist. First time he's been to Lima. I keep telling friends that are into oldies like I am that if you're going to go see one oldie show this year, come see the free one.
Right.
You can walk in and see Artist Circle and Mickey Dolenz have never been to Lima. So you're going to get a chance to see two acts that haven't been here before, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Come on in, enjoy the fair, stop over in the grandstand, get some free entertainment, some great entertainment, and it should be a great, great Sunday.
Absolutely. And if you are an avid follower of either of those groups or all of those groups and you really want the best seat in the house for this one, we do have a limited number of blue ribbon stage front tickets available for purchase now online or in the Fair Administration Office. Those are $50 a piece. They are general admission, but there will be a physical seat up there for you to sit in front of the stage.
Yeah, so those people who want to get so close to Mickey they can see him sweat.
Exactly.
They can do that. That'll be fun, and really, it's just going to be a fun day. And I'm just hoping it's free. So bring the whole family out and watch the car show because it's going to be in the grandstand as well.
Yep.
It had been over by the pond, but trying to put all the oldie stuff together, so the car show is going to be right there as well. So you can walk around, listen to Direct Energy, see some very cool cars, and I won't be surprised if some of those cars just stay there through the concert because their owners may just hang out for the music as well.
We hope that they do. I think all around this day just ties itself together so nicely.
So what else you going to do? Anything else? Oh, I know you do have there is another free day in the grandstand, right? You're ending with a free day.
Yes, absolutely. We are going out with a bang, no pun intended. But on the last Saturday, August 23rd, we're going to have another free event. The Lima Area Concert Band is going to be performing a show on the track. Tickets, there are no tickets. You can make your way into the grandstands or the bleachers right in front of that. General admission, free. They'll play a show for roughly 45 minutes to an hour, and then that will segue right into a celebratory anniversary fireworks show put on by the American Fireworks Company.
So it's incredible. I can't remember the last time we had fireworks at the fair, but it's happened before, but it's been a long time since we did that.
It has been a long time, and we were timid about fireworks because we first and foremost were thinking about not only the public safety but animal safety, and that's why we opted to do the last Saturday because that's when most of the animals are off the property. And the company we're working with, I want to share this with you because I think it's pretty cool. The company that we're working with is world renowned, and they advised us that day, starting in the morning, we need to play music in all of our livestock barns at a low volume. Then right before the show starts, we need to kick that music up, and apparently it will deafen the fireworks sound to any of the animals that are left, and probably won't get them as worked up as what it would be if they just all of a sudden you have fireworks going off. So
it's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the fair is not the fair without the junior fair. So I do want to make sure we spend some time on this episode and talk about the junior fair. We're going to talk a lot about them during the fair, but you're an old junior fair guy. For the folks that are out there and they're like, what is the difference between the fair and the junior fair? Here you go.
Yeah, Russ, I'm so glad that you brought up the junior fair because I speak to our mission a lot, and our junior fair encompasses what our mission is. It's promoting youth through safe, fun, and healthy agricultural experiences, learning experiences. And the 9 days of the fair is the showcase for those over 1,400 junior fair kids that put in countless hours and work throughout the winter and summer to get their projects to 12 o'clock for show day for their respective exhibitions during the 9 days of the fair. So I encourage anyone who maybe doesn't know a junior fair kid or hasn't been involved in the junior fair, if you're out at the fair, take the opportunity to go and watch one of those exhibitions, or at least walk up to one of the kids in the barns and ask them about their projects, because they are very knowledgeable. In my opinion, our 4-H and FFA programs here in Allen County are top tier in the state of Ohio. The program and the kids that they output are just unreal. I mean, I know that you work for Nutrien and you guys are hiring folks all the time. I'm going to assume that when you look at resumes, if you see that they were a junior fair kid, they're probably sorting themselves to the top of the list.
Well, you know what it tells us is that they understand work and responsibility, because, you know, you talk about these 1,400 kids. Think about that, 1,400 kids. They've got these projects that they're working on it for 12 months. I mean, this is a year-long project. They have to take care of that animal. If it's a hog, for instance, you know, you've got to take care of it every day. 'Cause
Twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you can't take a day off because it needs water, it needs food, it needs to be kept clean and things like that. So this is really neat, and the kids want to talk about their projects. So I'm with you. I mean, if you're out and you're visiting the fair, and maybe it's a sunny day, so look, here's a chance to go get some shade, walk through one of the barns, and then just find a kid that's got the program, a project there, whether it's a rabbit or it's a steer, or I mean, everything's out there. Have them tell you about, like, so what makes this duck different than this duck? They'll answer the questions. They know what makes that duck different.
Yes, they will. And while we're on the topic of junior fair, Russ, I feel like it's appropriate to highlight and invite people to the livestock auction, which is on Thursday and Friday, the second Friday of the fair. That event has really grown over the last several years, and that's thanks to the overwhelming community support from businesses and families. Just last year, we broke another auction record and grossed over $872,000 in total monies brought in, and the smallest check cut to a junior fair kid premium check was $475, and that was most likely for a chicken or a rabbit.
And so, you know, for people who aren't aware, you're not actually, you know, I've actually talked to people who say, well, you know, I think it's really neat, and I get it. It's the kid's one paycheck a year, but I don't want a hog, or I don't want a steer, and I don't want to have to. You're not getting the animal. These are premiums. So what you're paying is, this is kind of the reward for taking care of that animal for the last year and getting it to score as well as it does in the judging and things. If you want to purchase that animal,
that can be arranged.
Then you can buy that at market price, but that would be above the premium. So the premium is what you're bidding on, and it's exciting. And again, you're going to see 1,400 faces out there that, you know, on Thursday night and then all day on Friday, that are waiting to see what their paycheck's going to be, because they don't know until the auction. And it can be a moving experience if you've never been in. So I got to tell you, a personal story is, I think it was last year, there was a girl, and it was her first time first time with a steer in the arena, and they were bidding on it, and she starts crying because she doesn't want to give up the steer. And of course, you know, everybody's heart just went out to her that, like, she doesn't want to give up her steer now. But I think that really drives home the fact, like, how hard they worked, how attached they became to their project over the last year. But it's also a very good life lesson about, you know, about farm animals, and that they're, you know, terminal animals and those kinds of things. So, but a great, I mean, I love the junior fair. I mean, it's the best part of the fair. And we'll talk a lot about that here on the podcast. For all 9 days of the fair, we'll have some really cool interviews with the kids talking about their projects. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely, and I know just from the feedback that I received personally last year, the kids just absolutely ate up these podcasts. They loved it, and even if they weren't the one that was getting interviewed by you, it's kind of nice how that podcast parlor set up with those big glass windows. There's always a congregation of kids or family or friends that kind of like to pick on the person being interviewed. It's just all the way around a really neat experience.
It is. There's big glass windows there, so you can come over and you know, you can be having an ice cream cone or a pop or something, and watch your friends being recorded for their podcast. And yeah, there's a lot of waving and trying to get them to laugh and things going on the other side of the glass. That's fun, and I think, it's just one more thing at the fair, right? Fair's all about fun. We got about 2 minutes. Sum up why somebody should come out to the Allen County Fair. And of course, they should come like 9 times, right?
Actually, 9 times would be great. Yeah, no, but why should somebody come to the Allen County Fair? So I think fairs sometimes have a vendetta or an asterisk next to them that, oh, it's a fair. I'm not a farm kid. It's agriculture. I've never been involved in that. I'm a city kid. Like you said before, the junior fair is what we are, and that's what we stand for. That's what our mission is. But there are so many opportunities for any name and likeness of individual, regardless of what your interests are, regardless of what your age is. Really what this is, it's an event that we can bring the entire community together in fellowship, enjoy some fun and entertainment, being able to watch livestock exhibitions, eat great food, see world-renowned entertainment, ride incredible rides at Poor Jack's. It's the one place where you, in my opinion, reach the amount of demographics that we're able to reach over a 9-day period. During that 9 days of the fair, we almost bring in a little over 200,000 people in 9 days. So we're one of the biggest events in the region. And that support that we've seen over the number of the years and the growth that we've made has really brought us to that label of one of the biggest events in the region. So if you haven't taken the opportunity to come out and enjoy one of these experiences at the 9 days of the fair, our 175th anniversary is definitely going to be the year to do it.
That's right. You can come out there and be with 200,000 of your friends and neighbors at the fair. You'll see people that you haven't seen since last year at the fair, which is always fun as well. So, again, the fair opens when?
August 15th. The official opening and ribbon cutting is on the Nutrien Plaza stage at 4 p.m.
And it runs through?
Saturday, August 23rd.
All right, so come on out, see us all at the Allen County Fair, the 175th Allen County Fair. And when you're there, also stop by the podcast studio. We're right there in the old milking parlor, part of the dairy barn there. Just stop by. We have big windows, so you'll be able to watch the kids as they're being interviewed, and it's a lot of fun. We want to thank Alex Wolf, our engineer, for making us sound good, and Ann Decker, our videographer, for making us look good, which is new this year because of YouTube. We've got to
look good might be a stretch. She might have to do some doctoring afterwards.
Yeah. It's called photoshopping, right? All right. So we'll see you at the fair. Come out and see us. Have a great time. And we'll see you next time at the Allen County Fair.